I'm back. Sorry it's been quite a long time since I last did a video, but I am back and I'm going to do one now, and it's going to be all about my favourite hair tools because I have been recently loving actually doing something slightly different to my hair. As you may or may not be able to tell, I've been curling it, I've been trying to make it bigger rather than my normal, which is just sort of get it dry, get out the house sort of thing, because I work full time, so trying to do that and blogging and seeing friends, seeing like boyfriend, all that sort of exciting stuff is actually really difficult sometimes to do it all and manage to look nice at the same time. I admire anybody who manages to look beautiful all the time because I'm just jealous. But I thought I would do a little roundup of all of my favourite hair tools. Over the year I've kind of accumulated, over the years, I've managed to accumulate quite a few different tools, and I thought I'd do a kind of run through of all the ones that I seem to reach for on a daily basis. Some of which are kind of new things that have kind of entered my life fairly recently, other ones are kind of old favourites I guess that I've kind of stuck with, which is where I'm going to start. Starting with one of my all-time favourites. They're all kind of wrapped up because they come in this. These are my trusty GHDs. These are turquoise ones. They were a special limited edition set, probably at least a year ago, if not longer. Basically my favourite colour is turquoise, which is why I absolutely adore these. They're no better or anything than a standard pair of GHDs, I just love the colour, so I've stuck with them. So even though I've actually got another pair of the most recent style, which are, there was like red, gold and silver, these are the ones I reach for on a daily basis purely because I love the colour, which is a really silly reason. On GHDs, I have had a pair of these now for 10 years. One pair of which my sister now has because I passed it on to her when I got another pair, and they're still going strong. Apparently they don't get as hot quite as quickly, but still 10 years later they are absolutely amazing, and I think they really are like the king and queen or whatever it is of hair tools. Before I discovered these, oh my goodness, I was an absolute disaster. Literally just my hair was a mess, but I discovered them in my first year of uni and never looked back basically. Absolutely love those to bits. Next up is another GHD product actually. It's one that came in one of their Christmas sets, and it's this little hairdryer, which is it's not my favourite hairdryer, but it's amazing for travel. It's the one that I always reach for because it's got the little clip away handle thing, which makes it really snug and easy to transport everywhere, so I thought I'd include that. So it's quite fun. Any sort of travel hairdryer is amazing, I'm sure, because it's just really helpful rather than having to lug a huge heavy one around. It's really handy to take home rather than either having to ask somebody to borrow one or whatever, or just be left without one. I just always have one of these with me. So I thought I'd include that as another favourite. Next up is, there's a few things which are new things from Remington. They've got a new Keratin Therapy range, and I've been trying these out since before Christmas. A few things, I mean, they've got a pair of straighteners in the range which I haven't loved as much as the GHDs to be honest, but a couple of other things that are absolute gems. This one, for example, I absolutely love. It's this huge, like a big curling brush, and it's basically designed to give your hair volume, which I'm always on a massive quest for. Basically when you turn it on and everything, it just gets really hot and it kind of rotates around quite easily, so you can actually style with it as it's curling and putting volume in. I tend to use this after blow drying my hair, but before, like, it's this kind of styling element, so it's not really drying it, it's just getting that last bit out so it gets sort of set into a certain style. I think it's kind of similar to the Bowerless Big Hair, which has got a lot of sort of positive reviews and all sorts around. Ooh, getting my hair caught. But this one I've absolutely been loving just because it's really easy to use, and I think it's really great for getting volume, particularly around like the sort of crown area, which I think is always a bit challenging on flat pathetic hair like mine. Speaking of drying hair, this is another one from the Keratin range. It's an absolute beast, and it looks like it's something out of the Jetsons or something, and I don't know what it is, like the end of it, so it's a bit grubby actually because I'm using it. But you know, I wish the ends of hairdryers didn't get that sort of fluff thing, it really bugs me. But anyway, this hairdryer is, again, it's one of two that I use. There's another one as well which I kind of use most of the time, but this one is what I use if I'm giving myself a sort of proper blow dry, which recently I've been trying to do a lot more because I'm trying to get out of the habit of washing my hair every day. Basically for years and years I've always washed my hair on a daily basis because it's part of me feeling awake in the morning. But I recently have been trying not to do that, which is why I've been trying to style my hair more, because the reason I washed it every day is I've got really fine flat hair that basically if I don't wash it every day it does look really flat and lifeless. So what I've been trying to do is sort of wash it one day, leave it straight, next day curl it. Today is an exception though because I actually washed and curled it. Ooh, going all out I suppose. So yeah, I've been doing that quite a lot, and then this is the one that I've been using on the days when I do wash my hair and I've just wanted to blow dry it straight. I've been using, it comes with various different attachments which I have somewhere around here. Here we go. They have these two attachments which I thought I'd pull in just to show you. There's obviously the big one for if you want curly or wavy hair, and then there's this which is the same as the one I use on it but just a little bit narrower. For some reason I've just gone for the bigger one purely just because I prefer it. I don't know what the difference really is, to be honest. I don't know whether the narrow one's better for thicker or fine hair or for styling, or I just like that one because I feel the fine one might take a little bit too long to actually dry my hair. So my personal preference is the mid-sized, or larger of the two I suppose. But this one is an absolute beast. I find that it dries my hair really quickly, really smoothly and really shiny, which is generally amazing. Ooh, I've never noticed this before. Sorry, this is really geeky. I've noticed it's got this little like a hooky thing. You know, like they do in the actual hairdresser ones, so they can like hang it up somewhere. That's quite clever. But basically, yeah, this is my one for if I'm doing a proper blow dry. I haven't actually got my other hairdryer here, which I should probably have pulled in as well because it is obviously another favourite hair tool. That's just the one if I'm doing quick, sort of just blasting my hair dry. But this is the one that I use when I'm making a proper effort. Keratin Therapy thing about the Remington designs is it's meant to basically make your hair really shiny and glossy. I have blonde hair, so it actually feels really hard to get shine and gloss into the hair. It seems to be like brunette hair seems to really catch the light and look absolutely gorgeous, whereas blonde hair tends to, it will look bright but not glossy. So I can't totally comment on that. All I can say about this one, which I love, is the fact that it feels really quick when I'm drying my hair, and it has got like controllable temperatures and speeds, which is what I like, because if I'm, say, trying to curl bits of my hair, I put it on a lower speed, because when I find the higher speed it will just sort of blow it out of wherever I want it to be and it makes a bit of a mess rather than putting it quite neatly. So that's my hairdryer of choice. The next two products are both curling ones that I've been loving, one of which I've mentioned in a previous video, which is this one, which is, oh, it's another Remington one, but this is from, I'm just sitting on the wire now, sorry, I'm like all tangled up. It's this one from Remington, which is the Conical wand, which is what I use to do really nice loose beachy wave curls, which kind of go like tight at one end and loose, or it's loose at one end and then tighter at the other, so like tighter at the end. It comes with, I've got hair everywhere, a little glove, and this is the one that I use the old trick of going over your head, wrapping away from the face. So it's really easy to use. Really love this for just quick styling. When I want a bit of a tighter curl, which say for example, I think it was before Christmas and I went to a ball, and one of the looks that I styled there for my hair was like quite curly, I used this, which is another one from the Keratin range, and it's basically just a really fine tong, and I've actually never used a tong that's as fine as this before. I've always used slightly fatter ones because I've wanted that looser curl of like I've got in now, I suppose. This one is brilliant though if you want those sort of Hollywood glamour waves where you want them to be quite loose, but if you're like me and you've say got fine hair and it doesn't hold a curl quite as well, having something that's a bit tighter and then letting it drop out a little bit does leave that perfect sort of glamorous curl in. So this is one I love. The only thing that kind of bugs me about this one when I'm using it is that the buttons are on down the side, which I find the way I hold it is where it's basically naturally where my fingers hit, so I'm always turning it off or I'm like adjusting the temperature without realising it whilst I'm just trying to use it. So I've been trying to sort of train myself out of doing that and just sort of holding it a bit further around so I'm not pressing on it, but that's a really minor thing, that's just me being a bit silly. I also find that I don't always use the clamp. I tend to use it almost like a conical wand and just wrap around and then hold it nearer to the tip because it's one of those cool tips on it. So that is my favourite hair tools. I've got these various ones. So these two I love for curling. This one is for a blow dry, a nice one, not just a quick one, although it is quick as well. And then my favourite straighteners are the turquoise GHDs. For volume I've been loving this one, which is kind of like the big hair. And then for travel, loving this one. So all in all, it's a whole lot of hair tools. But yeah, and basically for the look I've got on, well I say I've got on today, it's kind of dropped out a little bit, but the kind of loose wave, I use a combination of the two curling ones. I use the curling conical one from Remington and also the new Keratin Therapy one, which I did for the sort of slightly tighter curls, which I think you can probably see more on this side, so these ones are a bit tighter at the front. So there you have it, very speedy rundown of my favourite hair tools. That's it. thanks very much for watching, and I hopefully be back soon. I won't leave it so long this time, I promise. Thanks, bye.